from the nation's capital, Monrovia, and welcome to the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network. My name is Theo Williams, and today we are fortunate to have on camera two executives of the UL-based Progressive Student Alliance. One of the parties here at the main campus of the University of Liberia. Well, there are several issues raised by the party. One, they talk about the reopening of the University of Liberia. They want the National Equity Bill to be passed as well. And PROSA is also calling for a forensic audit of the University of Liberia. And they've given the administration 72 hours. It was an ultimatum issued quite recently by the party. We want to discuss these plus much more. We have two executives, like I told you, of the party. They will introduce themselves and their position, and then we begin a conversation. Gentlemen, welcome to Focus on Liberia online television.
Thank you very much.
Let's begin with self-introduction for the sake of our viewers.
I'm George Fofituble, and I'm the co-chair for the recruitment and mobilization of the Avant-Garde Progressive Students Alliance of the University of Liberia.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you very much, and much I appreciate you for the opportunity, and we also use your wavelength to extend our revolutionary salute to all the militants, cadres, and standing forces of the Avant-Garde Party, and also extend our revolutionary salute to the all-powerful chairperson of our institution. And so I'm here in my capacity as the Secretary General of the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. So the name is Justin Devicha Jr.
Okay, gentlemen, let's begin the conversation. You guys want the reopening of school to be done immediately. There was a delay, I'm told, with the whole reopening process. Let's talk about the reopening of school. What is it as we speak?
And so the issue of the reopening of school of the University of Liberia is a very critical issue. And that's the reason why the institution yesterday took a major position, took a major stance. Because following activities at the university, as you may be aware, schools should have opened on Monday.
All right.
But due to the issue that was raised by the Part-Timers Association, or the Part-Timers, because the University of Liberia actually operates full-time instructors and part-time instructors. And so the part-time instructors are now fully employed within the system. They operate on a contract basis. And what we have gathered is that the administration of the university has refused to live up to the bargain of the agreement. It had defaulted on the agreement, on the contract agreement. And so the part-timers have now decided to take a decision to take a scrap action to go and go slow, and their refusal to go to class, that decision has led to the delay in the opening of school. And that's the reason why our institution, we say that as the lone and the most genuine and most authentic revolutionary campus-based institution on the campuses of the university, that the 1,000 students of the university would look up to the Avant-Garde Party for direction. We say that it is worrisome. Moreover, where university students have been placing call to the party, asking for direction, and when school will open, we said that it is worrisome, and so that the administration must do everything possible. Because the first thing we told the administration, we said that we will not condone any extension.
Okay.
We will not condone any extension of the opening date of school. You must open the school so that students can have the opportunity, those students who are sitting home can have the opportunity to come back to school to continue their normal academic activity. Because to even delay the academic sojourn of some of the students who are already on the verge of graduating from the university. And so we have called on the administration to intervene into this situation. And yesterday, there was an elaborate press conference, and our institution addressed the press, and we called on the President of the Republic of Liberia, who is a visitor to the university, that this issue that is currently unfolding at the university is a very serious issue. And the University of Liberia being the state-run university, and it is that we always say the University of Liberia is the microcosm of the larger society. So anything that happened at the university, whatever commotion or situation that happened at the university cannot be overlooked, because there is always a possibility of a spillover. So as the President of the Republic and a visitor of the University of Liberia, it's important that you intervene into this situation, that you start to place call to the administration of the President of the administration of the university, see how best the issue can be addressed.
How many part-timers are we talking about?
What's
the actual number of part-time teachers?
The part-time instructors, we cannot give you the exact amount in terms of the numerical strength of the association. But what we know that there are over 100 plus part-timers at the university, and they have raised a very serious issue concerning their benefits, concerning their arrears and the salary owed them by the University of Liberia.
How many months are we talking about?
The previous semester, the semester that just ended, we went for like 4 semesters. We went for 4 months. The semester that just ended went for 4 months, and that 4 months. After the 4-month period, the administration, because I told you, the part-timers are operating on a contract basis. So that 4 months, after the 4 months, the administration should have taken the responsibility to pay them for the 4 months. So the administration owing the part-timers within for that particular period of time.
Okay, you also calling for an audit of the UL. What has led to that? Why are you calling for the university to be audited?
You know, it is very important, and it is for the purpose of bringing accountability to the University of Liberia. You see, one of the reasons why the University of Liberia is in this backward state, is in this condition, this underdeveloped condition, is as a result of people in the administrative level, people within the administration receiving funds, receiving money and not using the money for the intended purpose, and not using the money for the actual reason why the money should be used.
Are you talking about the budgetary allotment?
The budgetary allotment, not only the budgetary allotment, but as you may be aware, even though there is currently a free tuition at the university, but students are allowed to pay 2,500, and it fluctuates between 2,500 and 3,000. So every semester, students are allowed to pay between 2,500 and 3,000. And not only
for
that,
what? You pay that amount for what?
We pay that for, they call that registration fee. The administration, the university call that registration fee. And apart from that,
and how long has that been happening here at the UL?
Since the introduction of the free tuition policy at the university, we've been asked to pay the registration fee. It fluctuates between, depending on your college, it fluctuates between 2,500 and 3,000. And apart from that, the University of Liberia has been issuing or organizing what we call entrance. Have been putting up entrance, administering entrance, and people have been registering for the entrance. For the past 2 years or 3 years, the administration have been giving entrance like 5 times in your year. And they have been generating resources, they have been generating money, students, and people have been paying. Sometimes you have people like, you have sometimes 10,000 to 15,000 persons registering for the entrance. The administration must tell us, must tell this public, must tell the students, what all the money that have been collected, what are those money being used for, the administration must inform us. Because as we look at the condition of the university, the last time we agitated here that the university should be improved, the condition, the facility here should be improved. What we saw here was a very cosmetic arrangement. And today the university is still in this backward condition. Go at the Science College. Go and see the lab. It is that lab does not represent a lab where people reading biology and chemistry should be in. So we are saying that the university should improve the facility, the administration should improve the facility here at the University of Liberia.
Besides that, what are other things you are lacking here at the State-run University of Liberia?
Oh, the State-run University, there are too many issues, like I said to you. And the issue of,
you mentioned the science lab. In a better condition for science students. Besides the science lab.
Besides the science lab, we are saying that there should be what we call internet facility on the campus, on the campuses of the University of Liberia. We are saying there should be a digital library installed on the campuses of the university where students can have the opportunity. Now the world has transformed. We are now the world has now advanced to the technological stage. So students now must now start to access information on the internet. So the university must make that available. And we are also saying that all the buildings on the campuses of the university must be renovated and reconditioned into something very suitable that the students can sit in under a very, very conducive atmosphere to have a smooth learning Wellington process at the university.
Do you still have the online registration process moving on since it was introduced?
Yeah.
Is it still effective?
The online process, it was actually effective during the COVID period.
Okay.
Yes, it was actually effective during the COVID period, but the online process is still being run. But you have since we passed that COVID stage. Since we passed the stage of the COVID now, students now have the chance to at least have a face-to-face interaction in the classroom. So most of the students now are coming to school to have a face-to-face interaction. So you only have less percentage of the students accessing or doing online courses.
Okay. Let me hold you a bit and hear from your colleague who is just next to you. You listen to some of the arguments proffered by your Secretary General. What have you to say? I'm sure you want to chime in a little bit.
Yeah, all of the points that were made by the SG are all the new one. Let's look at the issues of buses on the campuses of the University of Liberia.
Okay.
If we go at the front of the you will notice that students are struggling to find out to commute their way from campus to their various homes. And that for which I would say to the government and the university administration, if a lawmaker in this country can go and lobby to bring about buses like Massachusetts, and what more about the University of Liberia? But what we try to understand here is that the University of Liberia is trying to commercialize the issues of transportation on our people, on the students on the campuses of the University of Liberia. So what we are saying here, the University of Liberia must make sure that buses are sufficient for the students to commute their way from campus to home, from home to campus.
How many buses do you have as we speak?
In fact, I will say to you that the University of Liberia doesn't have bus.
The main campus don't have bus?
No.
Fender as well?
No.
So the students have to transport themselves?
Yes, so what the university is doing here is that the university is creating contract from people, from private entity that are having their buses. In the university will bring you, and then you will do a contract. So 50%, 75% will go to you, and 30% will come to the administration. So on that basis, students are still suffering.
What do you also want to say about the reopening of school? As we speak, school has not reopened. It should have been when? Since last Monday?
Yeah, since last Monday.
Today is the 22nd of February.
Yeah.
I'm sure you want to chime in as well on the reopening of school.
And this is the reason for which we are calling for a forensic audit on the campuses of the University of Liberia. The University of Liberia is meant to run 2 semesters. But from a logical point of view, the University of Liberia is only running a single semester, while other private universities around here are running 3 semesters. So this is the reason why people will say students at the University of Liberia are finding it difficult to graduate. You understand the 3D, difficult to enter, difficult to stay, difficult to graduate. Because if you are running a single semester, tell me, how long will the students complete that credit before graduation? So on that basis, the University of Liberia will mortgage you 1 semester and then bring forth another semester. So if you are running a single semester, where is the money that have been allotted to the other semester? So this is the reason for which we are saying the university administration must be audited.
You think that will happen? You think it's possible?
We can rest assured you that the audit on the campus of the University of Liberia will make sure that it happens.
You've given the UL administration 72 hours to reopen school. You issued that yesterday. We have just 1 or 2 more days to go. What are you getting any sound that the school will be reopened soon before the ultimatum elapses?
This is the reason I will say to you that PROSA is the face of modern advocacy in the Republic of Liberia. Whenever we draw our line, we don't take side. This is the reason why we don't negotiate our stand.
Okay.
We don't negotiate our action. And like we said, an attempt to bridge that, if the 72-hour elapse, we can show that there will be a nationwide protest.
Nationwide protest.
Nationwide protest.
How do you intend to stage the protest you're talking about?
Tactically, that would not be disclosed to you, but there will be a nationwide protest.
Has there been an approach regarding the reopening of school? Have you been able to approach the administration and those responsible? If so, what have they said to you?
Yeah, so basically on the issue of the reopening of school and the approach on the part of our institution, PROSA is a very decent revolutionary institution. And since the institution came into establishment, we have introduced new styles of student activism. We have added taste and flavor to student activism. And so we have always used the diplomatic approach.
Okay.
Because the first thing, before you see the institution arriving or deriving at a decision to take an action, to maybe through protest or demonstration, we firstly try to exhaust all the diplomatic issues surrounding that particular situation. So the first thing we did was to reach out to people within the administration to see how best we can have an understanding of what is really unfolding, what is really happening at the university, and how can this issue be addressed. But on the issue of the 72 hours ultimatum now given to the university administration, and this ultimatum is not only to the administration of the university, but also to the president of the Republic of Liberia. As I said to you, I intimated a few minutes ago, I told you, I said the president of the Republic of Liberia is a visitor to the university. Not only that, but as the president of the Republic is...
When you say visitor, what do you mean?
Visitor to the university, yeah. The president has that unhindered access to the university. You can visit the university at any time whenever there are issues here. You can reach it. In fact, to even be the president of the administration of the university, that appointment comes from the president of the Republic. It's done by the president. So the president has a very huge influence here at the University of Liberia. So whatsoever situation that is happening here, the president can intervene and see how best he can address whatsoever situation that is happening here through his influence.
Does that make him a visitor, like you claim?
Yeah, that's a nomenclature that is given to the president of the republic. Whoever that is the president of the country is referred to as a visitor to the University of Liberia.
Okay.
And so we are saying here with the 72 hours ultimatum, and we are very clear for us as an institution, the revolutionary movement. Before we arrive, we don't let throw out reckless caveat or empty caveat. Before we arrive at that, the institution takes time to study the situation. Before arriving at a decision. And so our institution, since the establishment of our institution, we have never thrown out any reckless caveat or empty caveat. We just want to say this to the administration of the university and to the president of the Republic of Liberia. The party spoke yesterday to its Secretary General, and we were very clear that we gave the administration of the university and we gave the president of the Republic of Liberia 72 hours ultimatum to address or to intervene into whatsoever situation that is happening. Failure on the part of the administration of the university, and the president of the Republic to address whatsoever situation that's happening, the next course of action will be determined by the institution through the leadership of the party.
Let's talk a bit about the National Equity Bill, a bill that was proffered quite recently by one of the senators in Senator Nathaniel Fallon McGill of Margibi County. How do you see that bill? Is it in the interest of the student community? The bill is actually intended to sustain the free tuition policy that was instituted by President Weah. Senator McGill and others want that bill to be legislated. How do you see it? You think it's in the interest of the student community?
The first thing, whenever you say, the National Equity Bill is about the legislation of the free tuition policy in the free wide payment.
Okay.
So whenever free tuition is pronounced in this country, there's one institution that comes to mind, and it is the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia.
Why do you think so?
For free tuition to be possible at the university, it didn't just come by the president, but then George Weah just waking up one Sunday morning and coming to the university to issue a statement declaring the university or public university free. It was through the engagement. Civil engagement of the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the university.
That could be an argument, though the others could debunk that as well.
And nobody will want to. The evidence or the pieces of evidence are available. So, except people want to distort the fact, and nobody will want to untwist the fact.
Okay.
Because the pieces of evidence are available. The first institution when the president, the then President George Weah took power, when he took office in 2018, the first protest that the president that George Weah received was the protest organized by the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia, calling on President Weah by then to ensure that you come at a university where you have thousands of students who hail from Newtown, from Togo community, from Western, from some of the densely populated slum community who cannot afford, to ensure that you come out of the university and make the university open so that students can have unhindered access to what we call free quality education at the university. So pros have always been agitating for what we call free tuition at the University of Liberia. And we have witnessed other people here, the other institution here called the Moribund Student Unification Party, and that's the reason why we have informed the public.
How do you call them?
The Moribund Student Unification Party. When we say Moribund, the institution is just operating on Scarleton. The institution is actually dead. SU has lost revolutionary historical legitimacy to preside over the student community.
Let's forget about SU.
And so, I'm just trying to make you to understand that the one institution that have been pushing or that have been the progenitor of free tuition is the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the university. So, moving forward to the National Equity Act, and the historicity behind this particular National Equity Act, it was actually proffered from the lower house by Representative Thomas Fala in 2021. So, when Representative Thomas Fala introduced the National Equity Act on the floor, colleagues at the lower house, at the House of Representatives, decided to pass, to take a decision, a unanimous decision, decided to pass the National Equity Act. So it was successfully passed from the lower house and sent to the upper house and sent to the Senate for concurrence and further passage. But since the bill was sent to the Senate, the senators have played deaf ear. They have decided to ignore the National Equity Act that has led to the Avant-Garde Party making several engagements. About 3 to 4 different times, the Avant-Garde Party have converged on the grounds of the Capitol building, calling on the senators to ensure that the National Equity Act is enacted into law. Because you asked a very, very important question. What the National Equity Act is a revolutionary, that bill is a revolutionary bill. And why we say that? Because that bill, when it is enacted into law, it is intended to benefit the thousands of students, sons and daughters of those mothers in the market who cannot afford to send their children to Cottington, who cannot afford to send their children to the Stella Maris and the UMU and other private institutions. But they can now have the chance, their children can now have the chance to enroll in a university where they will have that access to free quality education so that they can improve their living condition and be able to transform not only their family but to be able to contribute their quota to the Liberian society.
Do you see the passage of that bill coming to fruition?
And we want to say to you, that's the reason why the Avant-Garde Party, whenever we introduce a struggle, we make sure we see it to its reasonable and logical conclusion. So, as long as the Avant-Garde Party is in existence, we want to assure you and inform the public and give the public this assurance that we will continue to engage the senators until we can make sure that this particular National Equity Act, we can see it to its logical conclusion to make sure that this National Equity Act is passed into law.
Let's hear from a colleague. I'm sure you want to champion a bit about the National Equity Act. What have you to say as well?
Yeah, the National Equity Act, as we all are aware, even the parents in the market, Douala, Redle, and what have you, whenever it comes to the issue of the free tuition, as soon as they hear the benefit of the National Equity Bill, they become very much happy in the spirit. In fact, look at realistically, our parents now cannot afford to send their children to school on the basis of our economics. We noticed that majority of our parents are not working. How many dollars can a parent generate from selling bitter boy and pepper to send 4 to 5 children to school? Let's take, for example, you have your son in the University of Liberia, then you have 3 children in primary and secondary school, and you need to pay wires for those children in primary school. And then at the University of Liberia here, you are also confronted with paying tuition and fees at the University of Liberia. Tell me, it becomes a burden on our parents. So the issue of the free tuition at the University of Liberia and the wise payment, it ease down the burden on our parents. So I would say to you, we are not just the progenitors of the free tuition policy on the campus of the University of Liberia. Our parents are the original progenitors because they are the ones that are confronted with paying tuition and fees, paying our fees. Now, if you try to analyze, to juxtapose the issue of the National Equity Bill, you notice that prior to the the free tuition policy at the University of Liberia, the enrollment rate on the campus of the University of Liberia was low because students could not afford to pay the $4. And at the end result, you notice that students were overstaying at the University of Liberia. For example, if you're supposed to carry 18 credit per semester or 21 credit per semester, if you times that by $4, at the end of the day, it becomes very much big that the parent cannot afford to pay. And I will say to you that an attempt to do that, an attempt to eradicate the free tuition policy, meaning you are trying to deny the masses children from education.
You think the Bwaka-led administration will continue on that path to ensure that, the policy remains and, is in the interest of the student community? You think the Bwaka
And that is why,
administration
and that is why we want to say to you, a few days ago we had a press conference. Because the intelligence arm of the avant-garde progressive alliance with the University of Liberia is very big, and we trust the intelligence view of our institution. We got that intelligence that the President Bwaka ministry government was trying. They were in a secret meeting to abolish the free tuition policy. So on that basis, it was how the progressive alliance of the University of Liberia came in defense and realarmed and sent a strong caveat message that we have already received that intelligence that you are trying to abolish the free tuition policy, because mind you, there were propaganda on the scene during the election that increase our salary and take away free tuition policy. We use our salary to pay our children's school fees. Now, looking at the amount of civil servants that are being employed by the government, and looking at the population, if you want to compare and contrast, you will understand that 5 million population to 7,000 civil servants. How can that commiserate with the idea of eradicating the free tuition policy at the University of Liberia?
You think President Weah should be hailed for that?
And I would say
former President Weah, rather.
Yeah. So on the issue of whether former President George Weah should be hailed for making the pronouncement of a free tuition at the University of Liberia, I want to say and there where people get confused, and that's the reason why throughout under the 6 years of President Weah, people who were branded in this country as being regime collaborators, who were branded in this country as being regime students, simply because we decided to advocate and agitate for the sustenance of the free tuition policy at the University of Liberia. We want to say anybody, even if we have been Ellen Johnson Sirleaf before George Weah, we have issued the free tuition at the university, it would have been a commendable endeavor, and we have commended that. So under George Weah, since George Weah decided to take the bold step to issue what we call free tuition at the university, we want to say yes, it was a commendable act, and we commended the leadership of George Weah for doing that. But we also call on George Weah to say issuing free tuition at the university was not sufficient.
Okay.
So we told George Weah that it was not just free tuition. You cannot just distribute education on the masses children in quantity. We needed to learn, we needed qualitative learning atmosphere at the university. So you needed to back the free tuition with quality by improving the learning standard at the University of Liberia. As one of the oldest institutions in Africa, the University of Liberia, the university is one of the backward universities in Africa and in the world. So the University of Liberia by now should be one of the most sophisticated universities where people from other countries, students from Ghana, from other countries should be coming to the university. But this time around, it is the other way around. You notice that there are influx of students leaving this country going to Rwanda for studies. We have been given the excuse, we've always been given this excuse that Liberia died from the Civil War. Rwanda to fought a brutal genocide, and they are making significant strides. So if students leaving this country to go to Rwanda, it is a shame on our part. There should be students, it should be the other way around. There should be students leaving Rwanda, coming to the Republic of Liberia, coming to the State University.
Who do you blame for that?
And we want to blame the leadership, and there where we hold the leadership accountable for this conviction, because those who are in authority, especially those who have the opportunity to serve at the highest position in this country, at the presidential level, should always see education as something very vital and very sine qua non to the growth and development of any society. So the issue of the University of Liberia as a state-run university must always be taken as a serious issue, as a matter of concern. And that's the reason why, on the issue of calling on the Joseph Yimon Brega leadership to sustain the free tuition, the reason why we decided to make a caveat, it was a preemptive strike action on the part of our institution. Because like the mobilization chairperson told you, our institution, there's the intelligence unit in our party that is far sophisticated enough. And so we have gathered our intelligence that there have been conversations within the corridors of the executive mansion, that there are plans that have been discussed to abolish or repeal the free tuition policy. So the institution decided to make a statement, to issue a very strong position and calling on the Joseph Human Boyka leadership that campaign, you campaign on the mantra, you came on the vehicle that you are coming to rescue, on the vehicle of rescue, to rescue the Liberian people. We think, from the angle of the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia, we think that this rescue mission should be in line. This rescue mission should encapsulate what we call free tuition policy. It should be an encapsulation of what we call free tuition. Free tuition should be ingrained within the rescue mission. Because if you are sincere, if you are honest about rescuing this country, you cannot come to the university and say that you will repeal the free tuition policy that have been enjoyed by thousands of students of the Republic of Liberia, that have been enjoyed by thousands of students who cannot afford. In a country where people, especially young people, do not have access to jobs, in a society with high unemployment rate, in a society where our people are living on less than $1 a day, you cannot come to the university and say that you want to repeal free tuition and ask students. Because as you will be aware, this discussion is not only about repealing the free tuition, but in fact to increase, to hike the price of tuition at the university to $7. And we can say this, to do that, it will be a disaster because there will be a drastic decline within the enrollment at the university. And we are calling on the Unity Party government, on Joseph Human Boyka, to not take that decision because it will be
the Boyka administration have decided to maintain that free tuition policy, just to provide that information. I'm sure you are aware of it. You think it was because of your pressure?
And I want to say this to you, and you know, throughout our establishment, the institution got established in 2015, and we have spent roughly 8 to 9 years in existence. Like I told you, nobody will want to ignore. Whenever our institution issues a statement, nobody will want to ignore the revolutionary capacity of our institution. So whenever we issue statement, we don't get issue, we don't make reckless statements.
What makes you better than the Student Unification Party at the UL main campus?
You know, like I told you in my analysis, I told you as a prosa, it's the most genuine, the most organic revolutionaries to the movement. Because there are people here who operate in pretense, pretending to be student leaders, pretending to be militants, and they have abused the essence of what we call revolution. And so the parade calling themselves revolutionary when they don't understand the fundamentals of revolution. You cannot call yourself a revolutionary and you mortgage the interests of the vast majority of the people and you call yourself a revolutionary. You cannot call yourself a revolutionary and you put your belly at the front of your endeavor, then you are not a revolutionary. So since the day Soup lost that historical legitimacy to preside over the student community, it led to the establishment of the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. And we came into establishment on the basis of contradiction, because it was the time when the administration decided to increase tuition. When Soup on this campus took money and decided to remain tight-lipped on that issue, that was the time our institution came into establishment. We rallied but then it was under the umbrella of the Finland Student Association. We were just a pressure group at that time. We were not a recognized campus-based political party. We had to pressure the administration not to take that decision, and we maintain. And since then, the Avant-Garde Party has always been in the interest of the students at the University of Liberia. We have always been in the interest, and that's the reason why, even today, it has become glaringly evident.
That makes you better than the Vanguard Student Unification Party.
Glaringly evident that Soup is heading for collapse. As you may be aware, it is not a hidden, it is no secret.
Did I hear you say collapse?
Soup is heading for collapse. I told you I said Soup is only operating on a scaling tone. This just a scaling tone, you see.
That could be an argument though. That could be an argument.
The historical Student Unification Party that we know, that people that woke up Tabia fought for. This is not the Student Unification Party you see here. What you see here, it is an enterprise of gangsters. It is an enterprise of people of career beggars, people who only pass around and try to take money from government officials and come take money from government officials in the night and come in broad day pretending to be condemning government officials when you go overnight and do business with government officials. That's the reason why you see your institution today is in serious crisis.
What is a reliance to that? That is a grave allegation.
I'm telling you that it is you are a journalist. You are a journalist, and it is a clear evidence that today the institution is in leadership crisis.
I'm asking, what is a reliance to that?
When you say reliance to that, I'm telling you.
What evidence do you have to that? When you are accusing your colleague of extorting money from government officials overnight.
The evidence here is the fact that the institution the SUB, the historical SUB.
I'm sure the guys on SUB will respond to the allegation.
At no point in time, the issue, the internal issues in SUB have ever reached the public like the way it has been done. The way it has been done under this current generation. We want to say to you, the evidence here is just very simple. Today, the institution is serious in deep leadership crisis where they don't have an organized leadership. They're always on the campus every day.
These things are normal. I'm sure you have your own share of here as well.
No,
it's normal.
The most organized student political revolutionary institution, campus-based institution in this republic as I speak to you is the Avant Party.
The clerk is taking the issues on the 2 hours ultimatum to the university administration, the government as a whole. There are hours remaining to the ultimatum being elapsed. Where are we now? And how do you intend to approach if school is not reopened as per your ultimatum?
So I told you, like I told you in my analysis, you know the institution.
You talk about nationwide protest. Do you think it is the way forward? If your claims are not adhered to?
When we issue a caveat, when we issue an ultimatum, the first thing we decide to do, we don't then issue the ultimatum and then wait for the 72 hours to elapse. No, we are engaging the administration while we follow the process to see whether the 72 hours will elapse without the administration taking a major stand. And the administration, after we issued that statement yesterday, we are aware that the administration have now convened. They have called for a meeting that will be held tomorrow in the auditorium with the part-timers. So we are certain that tomorrow the administration, that particular meeting in that auditorium there will be an issue surrounding the whatsoever concern that the part-timers have, and that issue will be resolved. We know that for sure that by Friday, by tomorrow latest, that issue will be resolved. If that issue is not resolved, like I told you, we will not come here to tell you our strategy. But the institution will determine her next course of action after the 72 hours of the meeting have elapsed.
Gentlemen, what do you say to people who are of the belief that you guys come here at the main campus of the University of Liberia and don't want to go to classes, but rather get involved with political issues that will lead to the disruption of classes? They see you as an embarrassment to other students who want to learn. How will you respond to that?
Let me just come in a little bit. You see, people always say this, there must be critics, and we work on that. There must be people who will criticize us. In your logical mind, how will you think in their own mind that you leave your horse, come at the University of Liberia to cause disturbance? No, we don't want to believe that. But there are issues that are confronting the students of the University of Liberia. And this is the reason why everyone will not muster that courage to come and defend. So people who will have the logical and ideological understanding and to identify those contradictions will be those that will always appear in the public. Now let's look at the part-timers. Will you say that because of our action of the part-timers are unstuck today? The cause of the university today will not be because of our action. Looking at the University of Liberia, where you don't have a fitting library and laboratory, is that not an issue? If you can afford the $4, there are people who cannot afford the $4. So even if I can afford the $4, I must advocate and I must agitate for people, for those that cannot afford. And this is the reason for which people will always say that they are disgruntled. In fact, they don't want to allow their comrades to go to school. And we want to say we fight for an egalitarian society. Everyone must have equal participation, equal right. And the national cake of our country must be distributed equitably.
Yeah, so to add to that, and you know, those who have always argued or said that we who are at the forefront or at the barricade of consciousness, ensuring that the best is given to the students of the University of Liberia and to a larger extent the Republic. We are the one causing embarrassment. It's unfortunate. And not only that, but you know, there are certain people in every given society, in every given space, who are designed to oppose, even if something is good, to just oppose it and make derogatory statement. But we are aware, you know, we call ourselves revolutionaries and we don't we don't say that just on lips, but we do that. We try to demonstrate that through our actions, not only through our statements, but we try to demonstrate that through our actions. And for every revolutionary formation, they think what we call contradictions. Contradictions are raw material for revolution. So as long we are here on the campuses of the university and we witness any contradiction, like the issue of part-time of raising a very serious concern concerning the salary, we will not sit here and remain quiet. When we are on this campus and the University of Liberia is in this backward condition, we will not sit here and remain quiet. When we are on this campus and our females are going in the coaches to ease themselves to attend to nature simply because of the condition of the bathroom, and you expect us to sit here and remain quiet, we will not sit here and remain quiet. People can go ahead and try to denigrate us. People can go ahead and try to condemn us. People can go ahead and try to characterize us in any way. But as long we understand and we know that we are true to our consciences, and we are moved by our conviction to do what we do for the 1,000 students at the university and to a larger extent the Republic of Liberia, we refrain to whatsoever oath, to this oath that we told to protect the adults of our revolution, to ensure that we keep marching forward, to ensure that we keep holding the system feet to the fire, to always ensure that the material condition of the students, the material welfare of the masses of our people can be achieved and attained.
Okay, we have to conclude, gentlemen, and we're looking forward to see how things will end up in the final analysis, whether school will be reopened and some of the issues will be addressed swiftly. But let's go across the table once again. Finally, your final word before we take leave of you guys.
Let me conclude by saying I want appreciation to the focus on Liberia TV. We want to say the Avant-Garde Party appreciate you for giving us this time and privilege to expose some of the contradictions on the campuses of the University of Liberia, because we understand the University of Liberia is a macrocosm in a macrocosm. The University of Liberia is a country in a country. That's why we say the president of the Republic of Liberia is a visitor on the campuses of the University of Liberia. Because here at the University of Liberia, you have the 15 tribes represented here. This place is a country on its own. So we want to say until the administration of the Baka government can address all of these issues, we remain aggressive in our advocacy. We remain aggressive in our advocacy until the school can be reopened. We remain aggressive in our advocacy until the National Equity Bill can be passed into law. We remain aggressive in our advocacy until the University of Liberia can be audited.
Okay.
Yeah. So to conclude, thank you very much, and we must appreciate your institution for affording us the opportunity to speak on some critical issues. And so, what we can say here, we just want to make this clear, and we can say to the students of the University of Liberia, we want to say, in as much the institution is calling you to remain calm, but we also tell you to be prepared and be in full readiness, because this administration, the administration of the university, there's this culture of making statements and not living up to what they say.
Okay.
And so we are following. And tomorrow, as I told you, tomorrow is supposed to be a meeting held. Supposed to be a meeting that will be held between the administration of the university and that of the Part-Timers Association. And so we hope that that particular conversation will be fruitful, and we hope that after tomorrow's meeting, whatsoever situation will be addressed. But if that is not addressed, then we say to you, the institution will determine its next course of action. And what we can say here, if the 72-hour ultimatum have elapsed, and absolutely nothing is done about this, our institution, there will be, we can say this for a fact and for free, and you put on record for this, that there will be unspecified revolutionary action within the confines of civility, within the confines of the Constitution. And so we say to the Republic, we say to all those following, we want to say this is the revolutionary avant-garde progressive alliance of the University of Liberia, one of the fastest growing revolutionary campus-based political institutions on the African continent. We want to say here to you, our institution has always been a barricade of consciousness, ensuring the best is given to the students of the University of Liberia, to the students of the Republic, and to the young people. And so we say the institution will always be around, will always be here at Barracks of Consciousness. Our institution has never gone to bed. So we remain here, we remain very vigilant, we remain very posted, and we can say to the public that the institution is alive and the institution is on full. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Gentlemen, thank you very kindly for the opportunity to appear on the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network. It was an interesting interview, and we're looking forward to having more of these conversations as we move forward. Wish you all the best in your endeavor, and have a great day as well. Thank you so kindly.
Thank you.